So, I don't know about you, but for someone who is more than average invested in the game, I have found it so painful for so long time to try to stay organized and make sense of the scattered game resources and information. There are tons of infographics scattered across the stratosphere. There's a bunch of various Google Doc guides if you know the right link or the right Discord channel with the correct pinned comment. There are detailed Reddit posts made months or years ago that can be hard to locate. There's the wiki website that gives me good core facts but not deeper considerations. And just overall, there doesn't exist a great source of compiled quick game facts and game tips, and so on. And as a result, and through getting thousands of questions myself via YouTube and other platforms, it was time to create something that makes resources and information about the tower game a lot more interconnected, less fleeting, less siloed, and less one-dimensional than what is usually shared in other formats. It was time to create the Tower Knowledge Hub. And this Knowledge Hub was created for several reasons. First of all, the Tower community consists of a huge number of supportive and caring individuals who are eager to help others, whether as a result of or in spite of the game not having a gentle learning curve. The community across Reddit, Discord and beyond are able to enhance the game experience and game progress for so many. However, when similar questions are asked thousands of times and people are complaining about disparate information and guides, it is worth contemplating relevant solutions that can streamline efficient access to information and answers. Secondly, the Tower community consists of some wickedly talented and hardworking individuals who have created all kinds of tools, infographics, guides, and so on, but it is all scattered across tons of different Google Docs, Google Sheets, Discord channels and pinned messages, websites, and so forth. And even when being able to access and find these scattered resources, there are missing ingredients to make them truly impactful to a wider audience. And here are some quick examples. Even when someone may be able to access a respective infographic, there's little hand-holding as to what the viewer is actually looking at and why, and how they may go about applying it themselves. It is just assumed that the viewer knows all these things. Or even when someone reads something on the fandom wiki website that helps them develop an objective understanding of a subject, they would have benefited even more if they are then also able to access and gain deeper insights by seeing additional related player tips and facts, related guides and videos, related tools and so forth. And so, while the fandom wiki page and their team do a tremendous job of laying out the core facts, its abilities to go beyond that are limited. Or even when someone is pointed to a beginner guide on Discord, the limitations of a Discord channel is that it's very one-dimensional in nature and has challenges of cross-linking, using photos and related context and so on. It basically doesn't lend itself to this in the same way that an interconnected hub of relational databases can. And even in key locations such as the channel Beginner Guides New on the official Discord, information is very simplified, outdated, and hard to utilize and make sense of in their own individual silos. Or when someone finds a YouTube video, while it may serve as entertainment and with some tidbits of knowledge transfer, the reality is that it is also very one-dimensional and fleeting information that can also quickly become outdated and which is very hard to update. So overall, that leads me to conclude that Tower resources and information currently have a lot less value than they otherwise could have had, and that they serve fewer people than what they could have done. And that the community is spending a large amount of time answering basic questions when instead such conversations and interactions could have been a lot deeper and more impactful if overall game information and resources were just organized and presented in a more helpful and comprehensive manner. And so, considering the challenges and drawbacks on how information is accessed, utilized and shared, it then becomes a question of how many of these pain points could be addressed, such as reading a wiki page or guide ought to also include the relevant tips, frequently asked questions, related resources, anecdotes, and so on, but these shouldn't have to be reinvented each time. It should be easy for someone to see all frequently asked questions on any given subject matter. It should be easy to create concise guides with relevant cross-linking, which also makes guides more helpful to both beginners and to more intermediate players. It should be easy to find and access any game tool and infographic and learn more about these. It should be easy for a viewer to search and filter content by categories, tags, and other parameters based on their own preferences. It should be easy to have one source of truth that can be populated and reused where relevant and that updates in real time. It should be easy to add a new infographic or resource and have this auto-populate to any relevant guide and articles without having to manually input these one by one. It should be easy to crowdsource knowledge. And so these and more are what I believe this Knowledge Hub addresses and achieves, or at least that's the aspiration and goal of it. And so let me jump into these pointers in details with the site in mind. So, say in the case of the glossary item for the wall, that page comprises the definition of the wall, the fandom wiki page for the wall, wall-related tips, wall-related frequently asked questions, wall-related infographics, and so on. And none of this, except for the brief definition, was written manually. The rest is auto-populated through relational database labeling. The whole system ensures that relevant tips automatically pop up where relevant, with only one source of truth. No reinvention, just relevant stuff at the relevant places. Secondly, as mentioned, a user could see relevant frequently asked questions wherever, such as seeing relevant wall frequently asked questions on the wall page. But a user can also navigate to the collection of facts on the website and filter that database based on categories, on spelling, tags, glossary items, or whatever they may choose. And a challenge with guides, which often are scattered like scatters in the game, is that they are not just individual silos, but also lack a lot of relevant cross-linking that makes a guide extra helpful. And by lacking cross-linking, this means that guides either become incredibly large and bloated as everything needs to be defined within it, or the opposite, that a guide becomes too shallow or confusing with a lack of cross-linking for more information. And throughout the Knowledge Hub, guides like Guide to Improving Coin Income are comprehensive while still being digestible due to the cross-linking to glossary items. That helps ensure the guide itself stays on point without having to define everything for every single guide and become bloated. And the Knowledge Hub organizes most information in directories and databases that makes them easier to show up where relevant and easier to search and find. And one such is the directory for tools and infographics with clear labels and categories, titles, authors, glossary items, and so on. And content is closely linked through relational databases that can be added anywhere, and which will auto-populate with any new future content that relates to the given subject matter. And in this example, the glossary item that belongs to bots category have been added as a view table. And by hovering over the table, you can change sorting, filters, and search. And all of that is only changing for you. And by hovering over the name, such as the Amplify bot, you can open up the page about it for more details. And by clicking the database titles at the top, you could jump to other preset views. In this case, a gallery example or a detailed table example, and there are lots of variations of such preset views available across the website. And continuing with the bot examples, these descriptions are what will appear on any page where such are rendered. This ensures there's just one source of truth. If the developers one day decide to rename Amplify Bot to Botsy Mac Bots Face, then it would only mean renaming it once in the entire Knowledge Hub for it to update and show accordingly in every guide, resource page, tips page, and so on. And the same goes for all kinds of things on the website, which makes it a lot easier to maintain and scale. And the picture is hopefully now clear already on some of the core benefits and powerful aspects of this Knowledge Hub. And say, if there ever was a new bot infographic made by the community, I could have added it directly here, and it would have also rendered on the tools and infographics database that you previously saw, or vice versa. I could have navigated to the collection of tools and infographics, added a new bot chart, connected it to the bots category, or even individual glossary items, and it would have updated here on this page too. And importantly, while I know a thing or two about the game, I certainly don't know everything, and I learn from the community every day. And collectively, we are stronger, and collectively, we can create a resource that goes from good to great. And that is why contributions are enabled on the site, and why I've also started a Stonepack giveaway for contributors to the site, which you can read more about on the website. And with these main points out of the way, let's cover some of the main explicit pages of the Knowledge Hub, starting with the homepage. So on the homepage, you have various quick access to a range of pages, and I'll get into more of these in a bit. But a thing you want to note is that the homepage and various other pages have shortcuts and embeds to commonly used tower tools. For example, you could track your runs directly on the website, or you could input your stats to see your Multiverse Nexus sync and how far away you are from having permanent ultimate weapon uptime. And you could also quickly see the upcoming or current tournament battle conditions, or use the live placement tournament analysis tool directly from the homepage. And the homepage also has a range of other pages and featured resources and guides, and various other tools and integrations may be added in the future. Chances are that the site may already look significantly different by the time you check it out next time, as it keeps evolving and improving. But next, let's cover the main resources on the Knowledge Hub. starting with the tools and infographics. And we've already covered this a bit already, but importantly, the website consists of a directory of all the fantastic resources created by the community, such as tower calculators, spreadsheets, infographics, and so on. And the page also has some easy preset views if you're only looking for infographics or want to see tools based on categories or other parameters. And you can use the table to search for anything you may be looking for, such as searching for bot and seeing then bot-specific infographics and tools, and so on. A second main page is the page for guides and strategies, where I'm gradually writing out more guides and written content. Currently, it exists of quite beginner-friendly guides, such as topics about guide to improving coin income, guide on bot unlock order, guide on ultimate weapon unlock order, guide to gems and gem spending, guide to events and missions, a work-in-progress tournament guide, and various strategy guides such as tier unlock strategies, orb devil guide, turtle strategy, and so on. And a lot more guides will be created in the future and accessed here. Then thirdly, tournaments are obviously a big part of the game and where many of us have most questions and desires to improve and do better. So as a result, the Knowledge Hub consists of a page dedicated to tournament matters. It is a page set up to help ease tournament preparation and provide you useful insights. To help with tournament preparation, it includes an embed of the latest current battle conditions so that you can easily and quickly take notice of these. And it includes a great tournament checklist so that you remember to change the things that you may want to change ahead of a tournament run. And I won't go into details in this video on why these are all the things you should be checking ahead of a tournament, but I have added a written explanation on the site for each of these, which you can read if you want to learn more about why all these points are worth considering for your tournament. And the rest of the page consists of a lot of useful tournament tips and tournament frequently asked questions, which it can be useful to learn or get a refresher on ahead of a tournament. And overall, for the Tournament Matters page, in the future a lot more helpful details will be set up in regards to tournaments, such as more detailed breakdown of battle conditions and tips for each, more detailed about module considerations, and more. Then we got the abbreviations. Starting out with the game, it can feel like learning a completely new language with so many abbreviations and terms that a new player may not have come across before. And this was one of the first things I created on the Knowledge Hub because other abbreviation lists on Discord and the wiki were largely outdated and not as comprehensive. And so I felt the need to create this to help new players. So if you ever wonder about what an abbreviation means in the game, you can check out this page. And on a related note, I wanted to make sure that there was an onboarding page for new players in the game that gave them an overview of the key things they ought to know from the beginning, which is why I created a page called Beginner Start Here. And so this page gives an introduction to the game and the immediate guides and information that a new player ought to learn more about with relevant cross-linking. And then we got 3 powerful relational databases with related information that can also be accessed directly as individual pages. First, the collection of tips, which consists of a collection of tips and tricks related to the game. And so you could search this database if you want for any tips related to any topic, and new tips are continuously being added. Importantly though, as mentioned earlier, though you could search this database directly if you want, these tips do not just sit in their own silo but also appear at any given relevant page. For example, the tip Start Wallthorn First can be accessed directly or via the collection of tips database, but it is also within the wall page and the Wallthorns page related tips section, just to help it show up wherever relevant as you navigate around the Knowledge Hub. And similar to the collection of tips, you can access a collection of frequently asked questions page directly to see all the frequently asked questions on the website and filter and search through this. But the important and powerful aspect is that these frequently asked questions also appear at the relevant glossary items and guide. For example, if we continue with the wall page as an example, you will see that the when should I unlock the wall question is within the wall page in the section called related frequently asked questions. And same as tips and frequently asked questions, a database and page exists for images and animations, which can be accessed directly to search all of these on the Knowledge Hub website. But importantly, relevant images and screenshots will also show up on the relevant glossary and guide pages and so on. And that largely covers the main pages on the Knowledge Hub, though it includes many other pages as well. There's the category page, which primarily is used for labeling and hierarchical purposes, but which are also fleshed out with various information related to the respective category topic, such as cards, modules, ultimate weapons, and so on. And at times there are also various Easter egg pages on the website that you can keep an eye out for. The last one was found by Radival X17, and there may be various prizes or other things in the future for future Easter eggs hidden on the website. Also, while one could argue about how much competitiveness there may be into this game, do note that we have leaderboards also embedded on the website. But this is not something exclusive to the JPlays Discord server or my guild, so if anyone wants a leaderboard for their own guild or friends group, I have created instructions on how you could submit this, and then you'll have a web page you could access whenever to see your own tournament leaderboard in real time in the future. So what does the tournament leaderboard show and do? Well, it's an embed that automatically shows the tournament results for the chosen players, where you can filter based on battle conditions and time frame, and you can also hide any player from the charts by clicking on the right side labels. And you can hover over the charts for more additional details. And at the bottom of the page there is an overall summary table, and you can also change filters based on tournament tier and so forth. So for those who want a tiny bit of friendly competition or want some kind of leaderboard setup to measure your progress, you can simply navigate to this page to submit your own. And overall, there are a lot of things being worked on behind the scenes as well. We are, among others, working on a tracking tool that would work on the JPlays Discord server, where you would just upload a screenshot of your run to get search results tracked and measured. And I think there is potential for a lot more cool tools and integrations in the future. Then next, let's cover some tips on how to make the most out of this site. Firstly, though ideally this website has sufficient cross-linking and search boxes and filtering in databases and so forth to make navigation fairly easy, at times you likely benefit from searching across the whole website. And this can be done by either clicking the search icon in the top right corner, or by clicking Ctrl P or Command P on your Mac to do a search across the whole site. Secondly, don't be afraid to click around. Any changes you do only occur on your end, so click, search and filter to your heart's content. Thirdly, come join us at our Discord server and share your thoughts and ideas on how we can make this knowledge hub better. And you can also directly share feedback via a form on the website. And lastly, importantly, this knowledge hub gets better with your input, so consider to submit your own tips, frequently asked questions and images, and become one of the knowledge hub's contributors. At times, there may also be Stonepack giveaways to contributors. And as a matter of fact, at the time of recording, there is 2 stone packs for giveaway at the moment for anyone who contributes with tips, frequently asked questions or images. So that's 1500 stones is up for grabs. And lastly, while I don't really afford stone packs myself, but like to give it away when I can and feel like it has a great purpose, should you ever feel like you want to give one away, you'll find my game ID in the video description. Ultimately though, stone packs are crazy expensive and there are many ways to support me and my work. You could also consider becoming a YouTube member for the price of $2.99 per month and receive a lot of additional perks and additional access to me and my resources, including early stage access to strategies and guides, private Discord channels with build feedback and more. But beyond anything monetary, there are many other ways to support myself for the Knowledge Hub. You could help enhance the JPlays Discord server, you could help expand and improve this Knowledge Hub, and as mentioned, you can already directly submit your own tips, frequently asked questions and images, or you can consider additional ways to get involved with the Knowledge Hub and other forms of collaboration, whether that is building technical solutions that integrates with the Knowledge Hub, help create relevant graphics and designs, review and consider abbreviations and glossary terms and so on. Or you could help with the YouTube channel if you feel like there are relevant areas to contribute there, and lots more. Simply put, I welcome all kinds of help, and you can always contact me if you have any specific ideas of involvement. And if none of that is feasible, it is also of great help if you can pass on my work to anyone you think would benefit from it. Whether that is the Knowledge Hub or the Discord server or my YouTube channel, all of it could benefit from greater exposure, so share those to anyone you think would benefit from it. And finally, a big thanks to you all for being such an amazing and supportive community. With your help, the JPlays server has become an awesome place to learn more from each other. And with your contributions across the Knowledge Hub and more, you help a lot of other individuals too. And you help me as I pick up knowledge from all your great insights and experiences as well. And it's an honor to share this journey with you all. So thanks for watching and have a great day, and I hope the Knowledge Hub becomes a valuable source to help you in your own tower journey. Bye.